Ignore the algorithm to grow your channel. Here's how, here's why it works, here's exactly what you need to do ignoring the algorithm here on the YouTube platform. I'm Rob, and I'm a YouTube product expert since, well, some people might be saying too long, okay? But seriously, ignoring the algorithm is the best advice that I can give to you today. Why? Why ignore the YouTube algorithm and grow on the platform? You know, back in the early days when YouTube was first getting started, and think of the available technology in the day, and it was views was what we all went by. If a video got more views, then it must be good, right? Makes sense? More views, good video. If a video got more views, then it must be a good video. So it would be shown to more people. Makes sense. But the thing is, and I really don't like using the term, but I'm going to use it here in this video, is gaming the system. Human nature. There's always going to be people that are going to try to take shortcuts and basically to cheat. And YouTube, you know, we soon discovered that people would put misleading titles, misleading thumbnails, do other kinds of activities to encourage people to click on the video, because then that registered as a view. And even if they only watched it for 10 or 15 seconds and then said, hey, this isn't what I expected, and they're gone, it still counted as a view, and videos could ratchet up their views. So YouTube learned that just going by views wasn't a good thing. So along comes watch time. The watch time metric. How long people are actually staying on the video. So, you know, watch time became important, which makes sense because now you can't game the system by having misleading titles and thumbnails. It has to be more accurate because otherwise people are going to bail right away. And, you know, so watch time became an important metric. Well, then the people, you know, and most of all of us creators are honest, hardworking. We just want people to watch our videos, but there's always going to be that tiny percent that has to try to figure out how to cheat, how to game the system. So, you know, doing things like just making longer videos and stuffing content and, you know, and things like that. And that brings up the point of always trying to evolve and be in front of the system. And I like to think of it as trying to level the playing field. That may not be accurate, but that's my definition of leveling the playing field. Because in the early days, there used to be related videos that when a video would come up, the other videos that you had a choice of were related. And then people learned to cheat that system by just copying the information, and then they would just bombard the related videos. An analogy to that would be like in the soft drink industry. When you go down the aisle of beverages in the grocery store and you see like 42 different kinds of Coke, well, what are you most likely going to buy? So a video comes out and gets real popular, and then reply folks make videos that use the same metadata, and they just overload the related videos, so you can't really get a true related video. It's kind of like being a clickbait title and thumbnail. Now you have clickbaity related videos. So YouTube changed from related videos to suggested videos. And the evolution just continues, always trying to improve the system. A channel gets really, really big and has 500,000 subscribers. They come out with the video and it gets pushed out to their subscribers. Lots of their subscribers watch the video. YouTube says, hey, this is a really good video. Let's suggest it to more people. And it's a circle that feeds on itself. It makes sense, but then maybe the videos really aren't that good. People get bored watching the same stuff all over. So YouTube learned to snip the lines, and rather than just showing the same creator's content, let's show content that's similar to this, that's created by other creators. Maybe some smaller creators will show that stuff to these people. So YouTube is always trying to get ahead of that. So what does this have to do with ignoring the algorithm? And I'm a numbers guy. I really do like the numbers. Math's one of my things. And I enjoy looking at all the analytic metrics. But the thing is, you can drive yourself loopy if you just focus on all the numbers. And that leveling the playing field that I mentioned a minute ago is YouTube is always trying to feed better suggestions to the people watching the videos. And, again, we used to call it viewer engagement, and then the related videos and the suggested videos and video views and video watch time, and the views are still important, but the watch time. Then we came out with impression data and click-through rates and click-through rate per impression and watch time and average watch time and audience retention and true retention and related retention, and on all these metrics go. And the thing is you can't cherry pick out a metric because it's always about what we called viewer engagement. And somebody might say, well, my click-through rate used to be 4% and now it's 8% and I'm not seeing anything any different. Or my watch time used to be 30% and I've worked really hard and now my watch time is 55% and nothing's happening, because that's just one metric. That's why you have to ignore the algorithm. And today, what YouTube, it was views, then it was watch time, then it's impressions, then it's click-through rate, and it's watch time per impression. The next generation, the direction that YouTube is headed, is what they're calling user or viewer satisfaction. I call it the happiness factor. Now, happiness means different things to different people. I'm on my other channel, it's Live Life, Happy, Fun, Loving, and Carefree. I'm about enjoying life and being happy. So I call it the happiness factor. But call it, how a user is satisfied. Because YouTube, they want people to come to the platform. They want videos to bring people to YouTube. They want people to stay on YouTube watching videos. And, now it's getting to the next level of criteria is going to be viewer satisfaction, a viewer having a good experience, a viewer being happy, however you want to define that. And it's the technology progressing. As the algorithms get better and better, the artificial intelligence gets better and better, the machine learning gets better and better, the platform can better understand what kind of experience the viewer is having. And that's, I call it the happiness, but it's very suggestive. It's not a 2 + 3 is 5 kind of thing. How a person is satisfied is going to vary, and it's subjective. So it's going to be difficult for the platform to measure that, and how they're going to measure it, who knows? Here's a great analogy. Is you as a parent, or if you don't have your own kids, relatives, friends, family that have children, is you raise your kids from the time they're born up until they're 5 years old, and they get on that bus and they head off to kindergarten. Then they're kind of on their own, and you've you've lost that direct control. And that's the developers and engineers creating the algorithms that are going to do their thing, and then they put them on the bus and they turn them loose. And you hope that you've educated and trained your children, and the developers hope they've educated and trained the algorithms. And an example might be you send your children down to the store to get a watermelon, and they come home with a pumpkin or a pickle or whatever, and you say, well, that's not a watermelon because a watermelon's green and a watermelon's big and round, and a pickle's green but it's not round, and a pumpkin's big and round but it's orange. And the children learn, and then they go to the store again and they come home with something else, and it's a process until eventually they learn exactly what a watermelon is. And then they go to the store and they come home with a watermelon, and you're like, yay, they've got a watermelon. But the watermelon is rotten on the other side because they only looked at the side when they looked down in the bin at the watermelon, and they just picked it up. They didn't know to turn it over and look at the other side. So you teach them that. And that's the developers and the machine learning of the artificial intelligence, of the algorithms, is constantly learning how to do all this. And eventually your children are like perfect. They just know how to get the exact awesome best watermelon. And then one time they go to the store to pick up the watermelons, and they're standing there and they're looking at the watermelons, kind of trying to decide which one to get. And over there in the next bin they got a big bin of cantaloupe, and they're on sale, and you can get 3 cantaloupes for the price of 1 watermelon. And there's parents, and the kids are all saying, Mom, buy me a cantaloupe. I want a cantaloupe. That's exactly what I want. Please get me a cantaloupe. And your children are standing by the watermelons and looking over at the cantaloupes, and they're looking at the watermelons, and they're hearing all the excitement of the other children with their parents, and they make the executive decision that, forget these watermelons, let's go buy the cantaloupes. And they show up at home with the big old smile on their face. Mom, Dad, look what we got. We bought cantaloupes. And you're like, you were supposed to get watermelons. And that's the machine learning with the algorithms, and it probably happens on a Saturday night that the algorithm decides, these videos are breaking the rules, so we're going to demonetize them. Or we're going to remove them from the platform and give strikes or warnings, or these videos are really good and we're going to start showing them to more people. And then social media, Reddit and Twitter and wherever, all of a sudden is getting overwhelmed with all these people saying, what in the heck is the, why are all these videos being removed? Or, and then the developers have to call in the algorithm and say, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. We want you to do this. And that was a decision that you shouldn't have made. And I really hope that is driving home the point of the machine learning in the artificial intelligence, of the algorithms. So again, we're getting to the level now that the next phase, and I call it switching, but you call it however you want, is the happiness factor is user satisfaction. So that's why you can't focus on the algorithms. That's why the algorithms, in my opinion, it's about leveling the playing field so that if a channel gets really big and successful with lots of subscribers, it's not a guarantee that their stuff is just going to overwhelm the platform. If you're small, you can still get your foot in the door by making awesome, great videos. So that's your focus, is just to make good videos in what you do, to have the people watching your videos being entertained, enjoying, engaged, a good experience, satisfied, however you want to define that. And it's, we're calling it user satisfaction. A video has a great appeal to a broad audience, and you just can't measure that in 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's why you can't just focus on click-through rate. You can't just focus on watch time. It's the big picture and how satisfied and how happy and how much of an engaged, awesome experience a person has when they watch your video. And if you've enjoyed watching this video, subscribe, watch another video. I really appreciate you hanging around, and I hope that this has helped you grow your channel. Meow.